Nobody's coming to sabotage your life. You're already doing it yourself, on schedule, every single day. The excuse, the snooze button, the plan you made at midnight and abandoned by 9. None of that is bad luck. That's a pattern, and patterns have an author. Nietzsche said the man with a strong enough why can survive almost any how, which means the man who keeps quitting never actually lacked the how, he lacked the why, or he lied to himself about having one. So sit with this before you scroll past it. If the biggest obstacle standing between you and the life you claim to want has never once been circumstance, what does that make the last 5 years you spent blaming it? Look at the pattern honestly. The one you've been pretending is a series of unrelated accidents. The gym membership you paid for and never used past week 2. The business idea you researched for 3 months and never launched, buried under 100 reasons that all sounded reasonable at the time. The relationship you slowly poisoned with distance because closeness felt more dangerous than being alone. So you engineered the ending before it could happen to you. None of that was circumstance. You built every single one of those outcomes with your own hands, one small avoidance at a time, and then stood back afterward and called it bad luck, like you weren't the one holding the tools. Seneca wrote that difficulty strengthens the mind as labor does the body, but you spent years avoiding exactly the difficulty that would have made you strong, and calling the avoidance self-care. You know the moment, the fork in the road where the easier path whispered and the harder path stayed silent, and you took the whisper again, exactly like you always do, and told yourself this time it was strategic rather than scared. This isn't about motivation. You've had motivation plenty of times in firsts that lasted exactly as long as it took for the discomfort to show up. What you don't have is a track record of trusting yourself when it actually matters. And that absence, not the economy, not your childhood, not the people around you, is the real thing sabotaging your future. Here's the first cut: self-sabotage isn't a mystery. And it was never bad luck dressed up as a coincidence. It's a defense mechanism built to protect you from a failure that would actually hurt less than the fear currently controlling you. You'd rather quit on your own terms, early, quietly, than risk trying fully and still losing in front of everyone, including yourself. But that's only the surface. Underneath it, something older is running the program. Every time you sabotage progress, some part of you gets to stay safely, unproven, untested, protected from the verdict of a real attempt. The one that would finally tell you the truth about your own ceiling. Comfort isn't the reward here. Comfort is the bribe. And you've been taking it for years. Marcus Aurelius said, "Stop arguing about what a good man should be, and simply be one read." That while you're still explaining, again, why this time was different. And then you'll hit the deepest cut of all. You don't actually fear failure the way you claim to. You fear what it would mean about you if you tried completely, with nothing held back, and still fell short of what you promised yourself. So you hold back on purpose, quietly, invisibly, and call the holding back caution. That's not caution. That's cowardice wearing a disguise, dressed up in reasonable-sounding language. And it has been running your life far longer than you've been willing to admit out loud, even to yourself, especially to yourself. Stop calling it a rough patch. It's sabotage, and you are both the saboteur and the target. And every time you let yourself off the hook, you're rewarding the exact behavior that's been quietly demolishing your future for years, while you called it a phase. Stop making the same promise to yourself that you've already broken 100 times, in 100 different disguises, all leading back to the same surrender. Stop starting Monday. Stop waiting for motivation that was never going to arrive before the action did. Motivation shows up after you move, not before.
The man you actually want to become does not negotiate with the version of himself that keeps flinching at the first sign of discomfort. He catches the flinch. He names it out loud, mid-motion, before it can talk him out of anything. He does the thing anyway, immediately, before the old pattern gets a vote in the decision. He stops treating self-sabotage like a personality trait and starts treating it like an enemy combatant hiding inside his own decisions, wearing his own voice, using his own excuses against him. No more almost. No more just this once. No more quiet surrender disguised as flexibility. Feel the pull to quit right now on whatever you're supposed to be doing today. And do it anyway, on principle, because principle is the only thing loud enough to drown out a habit this old. You will not come back to this channel until you have finished the one thing you've been quietly sabotaging for months. Move. Now. Not after this ends. Before it does. Picture two versions of the same person, 5 years from now. One is still explaining, still one setback away from quitting completely, still telling the same story about circumstances that were never actually the obstacle, still watching other people build the life he keeps rehearsing and never starting, and still calling next year the year it finally changes. The other broke the pattern on an ordinary, unremarkable day. No dramatic turning point, no rock bottom, just one decision to stop being the enemy and start being the builder. Jung said the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. That privilege was never withheld from either version of this person. Only one of them actually claimed it. Only one of those people is free of themselves. The other is still losing to the exact same opponent every single day. Their own reflection. Decide right now which one you're going to be, and then prove it before today ends, not tomorrow. Stop negotiating with the version of you that keeps losing. Catch the flinch, do it anyway, and become the one person you can finally stop fighting.